Fossils by Anne O. Squire and Scholastic. Right here it has a fact. It says most Tyrannosaurus rex skeletons are about 40 feet, 12 meters long. Okay. Today we are going to read chapter 1 of this book. It says right here, find the truth. Everything you are about to read is true except for one of the sentences on this page. Which one is true? Scientists can learn about all the world's extinct animals by studying fossils. Dinosaurs have been extinct for more than 60 million years before humans first developed. Find the answers in this book. One of these is true, and one of these is a false. Is a lie. That's right. Okay, so these are the chapters. Okay. Number 1, clues from the past. What are fossils? That's what we're reading today, and these are the other chapters, along with Mary Anning. We talked about her yesterday. How did an 11-year-old girl become a famous fossil hunter? Okay, so we will be reading all these chapters. Look at that. What do we call that again? What do we call this? Pteranodon. Ooh, I wonder if you're right. This is an Archaeopteryx, and it's considered the earliest bird. Clues from the past. Did you ever wonder how scientists have learned so much about Earth's history? How do we know what the dinosaurs looked like, what they ate, or where they lived? How do we know that fish existed before mammals? How have we learned about our human ancestors? The answer to these questions is through the study of fossils. Fossils are the remains or traces of animals and plants that have been preserved in the Earth's rocky crust. Like a pizza crust. Digging up fossils. Most fossils are buried beneath the earth. Paleontologists excavate or dig and remove them from the surrounding rock. Fossils are delicate, so scientists must work carefully. Excavators may mist water on the rock to soften it. Then they use tools such as dental picks to chip the rock away. Large bones are usually encased in plaster of Paris to protect them for transport. They are shipped to laboratories for future study. Paleontologists carefully excavate a 10-million-year-old rhinoceros skeleton in Nebraska. The Hadrosaurus lived in what is now New Jersey. This fossil shows the scaly skin of the Hadrosaurus. See that? Like reptile-y skin. Like hexagons, like a hexagon, right? Bones and more. When you think of a fossil, you probably picture a dinosaur bone or even a complete skeleton. But fossils can be more than just bones. Teeth, shells, and other hard parts of plants and animals can also become fossils. Sometimes an animal leaves behind traces such as footprints, tooth marks, or even an impression of its skin. Clear fossil impressions of dinosaur skin give us a good idea of what these ancient animals looked like. Ancient worms created these tracks in the earth, which later fossilized. Another thing that animals leave behind is their droppings. Fossilized droppings are called coprolites. They can tell us a lot about an animal's size and what the animals ate. Worms and other soft animals cannot become fossils, but the burrows they dig can become fossilized. By looking at the space in which an animal lived, we can learn a lot about its size and shape. Fossils, young and old. Life existed on Earth for billions of years, so a 10,000-year-old fossil is actually very young. Animals preserved during Earth's last ice age are among the youngest fossils ever found. Scientists in Australia recently discovered fossils that may be the world's oldest. These fossilized single-cell organisms are 3.4 billion years old. Special lighting and powerful microscopes help paleontologists look at fossilized single-celled organisms such as algae, shown here. All right, guys. These are the last 4 pages, I believe, of the chapter. 4 more pages. Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago. At first, conditions were harsh and very hot. The air had no oxygen. Around 540 million years ago, animals that we might recognize began to develop. This was the beginning of the Paleozoic era. Sponges, worms, and snails were among the first animals. Fish developed around 400 million years ago, followed by insects and amphibians, like frogs. In the middle of the Paleozoic era, 310 million years ago, reptiles developed. The first trilobites lived on Earth 542 million years ago. This is a computer rendering of what a trilobite looked like. Scientists argue that Brachiosaurus lived in groups. You guys are fans of the Brachiosaurus, one of the most popular dinosaurs in this classroom. Ruling reptiles. The Mesozoic era came next, lasting from 250 to 65 million years ago. Reptiles dominated the land, overshadowing all other animals. In fact, this era is often called the Age of Reptiles. Dinosaurs such as Tyrannosaurus rex, Stegosaurus, and Triceratops roamed the earth at various times during this period. Yet the Age of Reptiles did not last forever. By the end of the Mesozoic era, all the dinosaurs had become extinct. 2 more pages, guys. Giant mammoths and dire wolves lived about 150 million years ago. The age, or 150,000 years ago, sorry. The age of mammals. After the dinosaurs became extinct, mammals developed rapidly, replacing the ruling reptiles on the land. This age of mammals, from 65 million years ago until the present, is known as the Cenozoic era. Giant mastodons, these are mastodons right here, and saber-toothed cats were some of the animals that lived during this time. The first modern humans developed very recently, only about 200,000 years ago. So we're pretty young. What are fossil fuels? Fossils provide much of the energy we use today. Coal, oil, and natural gas are called fossil fuels. Good job. Hundreds of millions of years ago, wet tropical areas filled with plants and animals covered much of the earth. When organisms died, they sank to the bottom of the swamps, oceans, and bogs. They were buried under layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, heat and pressure in the earth's crust transformed the matter into coal, oil, and natural gas. Very good. Huge drilling rigs pump oil from deep within the earth, and that's why they're called fossil fuels. The next chapter we will read later is going to be called Preserved in Stone. I will see you then. Keep reading every single day.